Let me ask you something personal, man to man. Have you ever rolled over in bed, reached down, and realized your body just didn't answer the call? No morning wood, no pulse of energy, just silence. And maybe you didn't say anything, not to your wife, not to your doctor, maybe not even to yourself. But deep down, you knew something had changed. And if that moment hit you like a gut punch, you're not alone. See, I've sat across from thousands of men in my 35 years as a doctor. Men in their 60s, 70s, even 80s, strong men, proud men, who whispered the same fear, "Doc, I don't feel like a man anymore." But I want to tell you something today that I wish more doctors said out loud. You're not broken. Your body hasn't given up on you. It's just been waiting for the right spark to bring it back to life. Now here's the part that'll raise your eyebrows. That spark? It could be sitting in your kitchen right now. A humble little clove of garlic. Yep, that strong-smelling, tear-inducing bulb we usually toss in a frying pan without a second thought. But used the right way and at the right time, garlic can do something remarkable for older men. It can help reawaken blood flow in places that have gone quiet. It can nourish the vessels that supply your manhood with the lifeblood of energy, oxygen, and responsiveness. And when taken in a specific way before bed, well, let's just say some of my patients have reported waking up with a certain kind of surprise they hadn't felt in years. My name is Dr. Edward. I'm a retired urologist here in Greenville, South Carolina. For over 3 decades, I helped men navigate the most private, often painful parts of aging. Erectile changes, prostate trouble, low energy, low confidence. I've seen it all. And I've learned that sometimes the most powerful medicine isn't in a bottle. It's in your kitchen if you know how to use it. Today, I want to share something I've only shared with my patients until now. It's a natural garlic method, taken just one spoonful before bed, that can help nourish your blood flow, support firmer erections, and restore the kind of confidence you thought was gone. Now, don't go grabbing garlic out of the pantry just yet, because the real magic here isn't just garlic. It's how you use it, when you use it, and what you combine it with that makes the difference between smelling like spaghetti and waking up like a lion. Stick with me, because we're just getting started. What I'm about to reveal could change the way you feel in your own body, not just in the bedroom, but when you get out of bed in the morning, walk down the stairs, and look in the mirror. So go ahead, subscribe to the channel, and click the little bell icon. Trust me, it only gets more interesting from here. And do me a small favor. Type in the comments below where you're watching from. I read every comment personally. Whether you're in Dallas, Des Moines, or right here in South Carolina, I want to know you're here with me. Because what I'm about to share isn't just advice. It's a path back to vitality, one natural step at a time. And it all starts with blood. Let me ask you something else, and I want you to really consider it. When was the last time you felt alive down there? Not just functional, not just it works, but really alive. That deep, warm pulse of energy in your lower body that says, yes, I'm still here. I'm still a man. Now, if that's been missing, I want you to know there's a reason. And no, it's not because you turned 60 or 70 or whatever number society tries to slap on your back like an expiration date. The truth is, aging doesn't cause erections to vanish. Not by itself. What really steals a man's performance, confidence, and desire is something far more sneaky. And I call it the slow clog. See, inside your body, right now, you have a vast network of tiny blood vessels. Think of them like garden hoses running from your heart, through your belly, down into your pelvis, and finally, into the most important and most sensitive part of your anatomy, your penis. And when you were younger, those vessels were wide open, like brand new hoses. They could flex, expand, and carry warm blood like a fire hose. That's what gave you those morning erections, those spontaneous urges, that feeling of youthful vitality. But over time, things started to change. Stress, Inflammation, poor diet, not enough movement. Even just sitting too much, it all adds up. And those once flexible blood vessels start to stiffen. Narrow. They get clogged like pipes in an old house. And you don't feel it all at once. That's what makes it dangerous. It's gradual. Maybe at first, you just notice it takes longer to get aroused. Then you miss a morning erection or two. Then it starts to feel like nothing's happening at all. Sound familiar? It's not in your head. It's in your blood. Because without strong, fast, oxygen-rich blood flow, your penis simply cannot rise to the occasion, no matter how much you want it to. Think about this. Your penis is like a sponge. It fills with blood. That's what creates an erection. But if the sponge doesn't get water, it stays flat, lifeless. And the water, my friend, is your blood. Now here's something else most men don't know. When blood stops flowing freely, other problems start showing up. Tingling, numbness, a cold, lifeless feeling in the groin, even prostate pressure and nighttime urination. It's all connected. And the worst part? Most doctors won't tell you this. They'll nod, prescribe a blue pill, and send you home. But that pill doesn't fix the problem. It just forces blood in, like turning up the pressure on a clogged hose. Eventually, something bursts. And then what? No, what you need isn't pressure. You need flow. You need to gently reopen those vessels. Reduce the inflammation. Clean out the gunk that's built up over decades. You need to nourish your circulation from the inside out. And here's the hopeful part. Your body wants to heal. Even at 60, 70, or beyond, your blood vessels are still responsive. Your tissues can still regenerate. Your manhood is not gone. It's waiting. Waiting for you to clear the path. And that's where things start to get exciting. Because I'm going to show you how a simple spoonful of garlic, yes, garlic, taken the right way before bed, can help cleanse those inner pathways, boost your nitric oxide, and get the blood moving again. Not in a harsh, forced way, but gently, naturally, like turning on a stream after years of drought and watching the soil come alive again. But before we get to that, I want to tell you something else, something most men never realize. It's not just the blood vessels that matter. It's what's surrounding them. Because when you combine blocked blood flow with inflammation, poor sleep, and loss of muscle tone in the pelvic floor, you get a kind of internal storm. Pressure builds. Sensitivity dulls. And before long, your penis isn't just soft, it's numb. Disconnected. That's the real danger here. Not that your body isn't working, but that you start to feel cut off from it. Like you're watching your life through a window instead of living it. I've seen it too many times to count. And I'll be damned if I let it happen to you without a fight. So listen to me now. Your body still knows how to get hard. Your blood still knows how to move. Your nerves still know how to feel. They just need help remembering. And that's what we're going to do next. Because in the next section, I'll show you the first method, the garlic method, and how it helped one of my patients, Harold, wake up with a firmness he hadn't felt in over a decade. It all started with one spoon, one bedtime habit, and a quiet promise he made to himself. I want to feel like a man again. Stick with me. You're about to see what happens when that promise becomes real. Let me tell you about a man named Harold. He was 69 when he came to see me. Stooped shoulders, a quiet voice. He wore a wedding ring, but never mentioned his wife until the very end of our first conversation. "Doc," he said after a long pause, "I love her more than ever, but I haven't touched her in months. Not because I don't want to. I just don't feel able." It wasn't depression. It wasn't low testosterone. It was something more subtle. Something that I see in so many men but rarely gets named. The slow erosion of self-belief. The moment when a man begins to doubt his own masculinity, not because he wants to, but because his body is no longer responding. Now Harold had tried the usual things. A prescription or two. Some over-the-counter boosters. Nothing worked. They made his heart race, gave him headaches, or worse, made him feel like he was forcing something that wasn't real. So I asked him one simple question. Are you willing to try something that smells like an Italian kitchen but works like heart medicine? He laughed reluctantly. If it gets me hard again, I'll chew the whole bulb. What I gave Harold wasn't a miracle. It was garlic, but not just any garlic. Raw, potent, and taken in a very specific way. A spoonful before bed, mixed with just the right ingredients to activate its full power. Here's what most people don't realize. Garlic isn't just a food. It's a natural vasodilator. It helps open up your blood vessels, clear out plaque, reduce blood pressure, and, most importantly for us men over 60, it supports the release of nitric oxide, the key chemical that tells your penis, let's go. See, nitric oxide is the green light. It's the reason a thought, a touch, or even a memory can trigger arousal. But when your blood vessels are clogged or inflamed, that signal never makes it through. And without that signal, you can have all the testosterone in the world and still feel numb, soft, or disconnected. That's why garlic matters. But here's the thing. It's not enough to just eat garlic. Most men chew a clove and wonder why nothing happens. That's like turning the key in a car without any gas in the tank. You need to activate the compounds and combine them with other elements that support absorption, circulation, and hormonal balance. So here's what I told Harold, and what I want you to try if you're serious about restoring your performance. The bedtime garlic tonic, 1 spoon method. Take 1 medium-sized clove of fresh garlic. Peel it and crush it with the side of a knife to release its allicin. That's the compound that does the heavy lifting for your blood vessels. Let it sit for 10 minutes. Then mix that crushed garlic with 1 teaspoon of raw honey, a squeeze of lemon juice, a pinch of cayenne pepper, and, if you can handle it, a small amount of grated ginger. Stir it all into a spoon and take it 30 to 60 minutes before bed. That's it. Simple, natural, but deeply powerful. Why before bed? Because at night, when you sleep, your body isn't competing with digestion, stress hormones, or blood sugar swings. It's the ideal time for healing and for blood to flow freely into the tissues that need repair. Now, I didn't expect fireworks from Harold after just one night. But here's what happened. After 3 nights, he reported deeper sleep. After 1 week, he said he woke up with something he hadn't seen in years. And by week 3, his voice had changed. His eyes were brighter. He came into my office, stood taller, and said, "Doc, it's not just my penis that feels awake. It's me. And that, my friend, is the power of blood flow." See, when your manhood gets circulation again, it doesn't just help with erections. It helps with energy, with confidence, with memory, with emotional clarity. Because blood is life. And when you bring blood back to the places that matter, you bring yourself back. But that was only the beginning. Because while garlic works wonders for blood flow, there's something else going on in the lower body of most older men. Something that garlic alone can't fix. It's called internal stagnation, a mix of trapped toxins, hardened tissues, and slow lymphatic flow that creates a kind of pressure cooker in the pelvis. And to fix that, I needed something more, something to go deeper than garlic could reach. That's when I introduced Harold to the second method. And what happened next even surprised me. Let me show you. But that was only the beginning. Because a week after Harold started the garlic tonic, something curious happened. He came into my office, not just standing taller, but walking differently. "Doc," he said, chuckling, "I think I'm leaking oil down there." I raised an eyebrow. "No pain, nothing bad," he added. "Just warmth, like my body is coming back online." I smiled, because I knew exactly what was happening. The garlic had cleared the pipes. But now the engine, his lower pelvic system, needed lubrication, repair, and restoration. And that's where the second method came in. I said, "Harold, you've jump-started the flow. Now it's time to nourish the machinery. Enter castor oil." Now, I know it doesn't sound sexy, Most people think of castor oil as something you rub on sore joints or use in grandma's remedies. But when I tell you that castor oil is one of the most powerful circulation restorers I've ever used in older men, I mean it. Here's why. Underneath your skin, in your lower belly, groin, inner thighs, and around the base of your penis, are layers of fascia, connective tissue, and small blood vessels. Over time, these tissues can stiffen. Microscar tissue can build up. Toxins from years of poor circulation and inflammation get trapped. And that's what I call stagnation, a kind of quiet pressure like static in the wires that interferes with your ability to feel, to respond, to perform. And this is where castor oil shines. See, unlike most oils, castor oil penetrates deep. It travels through the outer skin layers into the tissues beneath, carrying with it anti-inflammatory compounds, circulation boosters, and detoxifying agents. It doesn't just sit on the surface. It moves. And when it moves, blood follows. Here's how I taught Harold to use it, and how you could do it too. The warm castor oil pack, 3 nights a week. Take a tablespoon of cold-pressed castor oil and warm it slightly, just enough to feel comfortable on your skin. Soak a soft, folded cloth in the warm oil. A flannel or cotton pad works well. Lie back and place the cloth gently across your lower abdomen, from just below the belly button down to the base of your shaft. Cover it with plastic wrap or a towel, then place a hot water bottle or warm compress on top. Relax for 20 to 30 minutes. Breathe. Let the warmth do its work. Do this 3 nights a week, ideally on nights when you're not taking the garlic tonic. Let each method have its own day to work. Now here's the beauty of it. This isn't just about the oil. It's about the ritual. Lying there, heat on your belly, oil soaking in, feeling your tissues begin to tingle and respond. It does something to a man. It reminds you that you have a body, that you deserve care, that you can still feel. Harold started this regimen, skeptical at first. But by week 2, he said something I'll never forget. I didn't just feel warmth, document. I felt myself. I remembered what it's like to be a man, not just mechanically, but emotionally. My body doesn't feel like an old machine anymore. It feels like home. And that, my friend, is what healing looks like. Not just a firmer erection, but a softer heart, a quiet confidence, a return to that sacred connection between your brain, your body, and your manhood. Because here's what most men don't realize. Your penis isn't just a muscle. It's a mirror. It reflects your blood flow, your nervous system, your emotional state, your self-worth. And when you begin treating it with care, nourishment, and attention, not shame, not pressure, it responds. Not overnight, but gradually like spring thawing a frozen stream. And when that flow returns, so do you. That's what the combination of garlic and castor oil can do. One method to restore blood flow, one to restore nourishment and sensation. But before you rush off to try it, there are a few things you need to know: how to apply it properly, what mistakes to avoid, and the small habit that amplifies the effects dramatically. Plus, I want to share one more patient story. A man who tried both methods and came back 3 weeks later with a story I'll never forget. Let me walk you through it in the final section. Let's bring it all together, because this is where change truly begins. Here's how to apply the garlic and castor oil methods properly. Take the garlic tonic, crushed clove, honey, lemon, cayenne, and ginger on an empty stomach 30 to 60 minutes before bed, no more than 4 nights a week. On the other nights, use the warm castor oil pack across the lower abdomen for 20 to 30 minutes, allowing it to soak into the tissue while you rest quietly. This rhythm gives your body time to process, repair, and circulate without overwhelming your system. Think of it like a dance between detox and nourishment. One of my patients, a 72-year-old man named Clifford, told me that after 3 weeks on this rotation, he woke up not just with stronger erections, but a stronger spirit. He said, I look at my wife, and for the first time in years, I don't feel shame. I feel hope. Another man, a former pastor in his late 60s, called it his resurrection ritual. He said, it's not just the erections. It's the fact that I want to try again, that I believe in my body again. But listen carefully. The most common mistake men make is rushing. Taking garlic every night, skipping the warm pack, or expecting results after one try. That's like watering a garden once and expecting a harvest. Healing takes rhythm. Don't skip the waiting period after crushing garlic. That 10-minute activation step matters. And don't skip the heat when applying castor oil. Warmth helps it penetrate the tissues and stimulate blood flow more deeply. Remember, these are not gimmicks. They're not pills. They're signals to your body saying, wake up, heal, respond. So if you're serious about restoring your blood flow, your confidence, and your connection, give this time, give it trust, and give it intention. And if you want more methods like this, more natural approaches that honor your age without making you feel broken, then like this video, subscribe to the channel, and type the number 1 in the comments. I read every single comment. And if you're watching this, know this much. You're not alone, and you're not finished. Your body remembers how to be alive. You just need to remind it.